We are live.
Right.
Surprise, surprise. Hello, hello, my beautiful friends. How are ya? We're just starting a few minutes early. Guess what? That's a nice change and a few minutes late, right? Great start of the day, and for some people, a great end of the day, right? Depending
Yes,
on
true.
which part of hemisphere you're from. But we have a really great conversation here for you guys this morning or today. And I cannot wait to get into it. But we just wanted to see who is able to join us, on the chat with questions, or just wanted to say hello. So don't be shy, send some of those messages. So we want to warm up a little bit here from the World Messenger Studio. I have a very special guest and very dear to my heart that is joining us from Emirates. Originally, his journey did not start there and not in Dubai for sure. It started in ancient culture that I absolutely adore and love. And that culture is what? Who can guess that? Egypt. Come on, guys. So we're saying hello, hello, hello. Anybody else? Okay, without further ado, I guess I'm just gonna share with you today. We have obviously Ahmed Hamamsy joining us, who is a supply chain expert. Obviously, this time that we all live in, we're having a lot of conversations around what is happening not only with supply chain, but with e-commerce, with businesses around the world and people and we used to work with or still trying to work, but we have encountered so many obstacles and issues. He's also a phenomenal collaborator, optimizing revenues and growth. He knows how to analyze and see what is missing. And right now, I can say a lot is missing, isn't it? Welcome.
Hi, Izabela. Thank you so much for this lovely intro. And yeah, of course, it's hard times for some people, and some people lost their jobs and all. But we have to be optimistic. Yeah, maybe a lot of missing now, and but it can be a lot of opportunities for people for businesses to improve, for people to improve their personal branding, as everybody's going online and all the businesses going online. So there is always an opportunity, I believe.
And that is fantastic because when we focus too much on what we cannot do, then we get stuck and we get paralyzed, and we really miss an opportunity to leverage this time on virtualization and working from home versus going to offices and commuting and gaining extra time that we should be using much more wiser and smarter, right?
Yes, that's true.
So do you mind sharing a little bit about yourself? I know it's more than what I just mentioned to your pedigree in global business and definitely supply chain world, but also from your upbringing and some great story from your personal life, back when in Egypt.
Yeah. As you said, yeah, I'm from Egypt. I spent like 25 years of my life there. I started. I graduated there from for business administration, and I did not work there like too much. I spent some time in the army. Then I came here to Emirates. I started working in marketing and FMCG. And also I took my MBA here from a good university here. Then I moved to managing the sales and operation planning. Then I moved also through all the end-to-end supply chain management. Worked on consulting and teaching supply chain. I found my passion in teaching and sharing my knowledge and experience with people. And yeah, that's all also going. Yeah, I have experience in sales and marketing, of course. So I'm working like on all kinds of business, but my focus and my passion is in supply chain.
That's fantastic. And as a fellow educator, I can really say, unless you're passionate, don't teach anyone, because people will be bored. But then when you're passionate, they get excited, enthusiastic to learn. And right now, what's going on is obviously loss of so much momentum with the supply chain. So do you mind just picking a little bit from the global perspective, this global disruption, it was not just the pandemic, guys, it's obviously economic. I know you already know that, but magnitude of how everything is working and how is everything coming to specific destinations and how long it takes and how much it costs, all of that's changed. Do you mind sharing a little bit about?
Yes, of course. As you're saying, yeah, but things now are a little bit better. But when the pandemic started, there was like kind of a shock. You'll find all the prices went up. The cost for logistics, for example, for planes versus going by sea, like it was 4 or 5 times, and everything was like paralyzed for some time. And you'll find a lot of shipments were delayed and things like that. And some borders were closed and all that. Of course, this caused a lot of disruption in the system. And but companies who were like early adopters and who manage risk and opportunities managed to survive in that through having they have like distribution centers everywhere, and they really care about the customer service level. They are present, of course, online. This was like some companies really went out of business because they did not have any presence online, retail companies that they do not have presence online. So these things, of course, caused a lot of companies to go out of business. But the companies that were ready have contingency plans and were planning any force majeure. They must have like contingency plan and be ready for something like this. Managed to survive and actually managed to grow. Without mentioning, we can see Amazon, for example. How did they do in this pandemic, and how they grew. So it all depends on of course, on the mentality, on the vision of the company, how the company is managing something like that. Some companies, of course, survived and grew, like you said, and some companies, they went out of business because they were working day by day. They don't have a clear vision, and they did not have a contingency plan at all.
That is such an excellent point, and everybody were paying attention what Amazon is doing. But of course, they already had amazing infrastructure, so they also anticipated and planned for that way in advance, and they were able quickly to pivot and adjust their game. Not everybody have the budget and size and ability as Amazon. On the other hand, the ones that really focus so much on digital footprint, as you said, and digital transformation, were able to really pivot very well their e-commerce and also omnichannels fulfillment. And those are the guys, even they may be smaller, but the volume that they could be able to generate and produce and deliver upon obviously succeeded as a result. I'm seeing also interesting trend, and I want to ask you from your perspective, where you are in the heart of the Middle East. A lot of collaboration with neighboring countries are happening, things that we will typically maybe seek in other parts of the world. A lot of also collaboration in Asia, for example, that strengthened the relationship with neighboring countries. Do you see some of those trends where you are?
Yes, of course. I've seen borders before were closed between countries here, but they started to open because there must be more collaboration and opening business and trade between the countries. Sorry, here. And this, of course, will create more growth, more job opportunities. As we know that a lot of people lost their jobs, but as things open up and borders open up again, there will be more job opportunities created, and it will start to pick up, because what happened during this panic and during the pandemic, that we're still we're still in the pandemic, and there is still some panic, but when these things open up and the borders open up, we'll find more and more job opportunities, and things will start to pick up quickly. So it was, of course, a good step that this happened in the Middle East. things open up, and they open up the business, for example, with Qatar again, and like this, things is starting to stabilize again, and because of course the GCC, it's strong, the collaboration between the GCC and the economy of the GCC is strong, and each country represents a big portion of this.
That is excellent points too, and I'm glad to see that, because again, when we look at the world, we realize very quickly we were looking at strategic partners so far removed from our own neighboring areas, and actually who always help in the time of the most challenge and difficulty, right? Challenges and difficulty, neighbors. So it is great to see that some of those relationships got repaired, some relationships got even more strengthened, because more we do, then we also realize we can't supply everybody with everything that is demanded. Understanding what's the supply available and where is the demand, and knowing that we're also transitioning or transactioning right volume helps tremendously. We're having a lot of guys actually asking that they would like to learn more about supply chain, and which we'll right now have a little bit more in, but we're also having listeners joining us from Turkey.
Nice.
Yes.
Hello to everyone. Yeah.
Yes, and then we're seeing people joining us also from other Middle Eastern countries as well. We have a gentleman joining us from Japan. So guys, thank you so much.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Yes, and I know that everybody, specifically leaders of global companies, want to be more lean, more effective, more agile. Yes. And they're now looking for different types of methodologies that they can implement, which means also shift in mindset of their talent, of their employees, right? How do we shift work? How do we strategically engage? How we motivate? How we make sure that people are not burned out, but also we optimize, even if it's a shorter window, but it's to full maximum satisfaction of performance, right?
Yes.
And that's the part that I see a lot of shifts in, that I'm being contributing from my end, from the cultural standpoint, from the leadership standpoint, and from talent standpoint. But you're fixing mechanically, which is a great compliment. The reason why I wanted to say to people, we can have a process, we can have a system, but on the end of the day, if we don't have a buy-in from talent and then leadership and reinforcement, all of this goes to waste. We know that very well, right? So do you mind just picking a little bit of what you see the most common supply chain elements right now of these complex ecosystems? Because this used to be very simple, few 3 elements, but now we have so much more to it, like not just the logistic, not just the finance, right? We also have a smart tech, which smart tech added another layer that is for better or worse, because some companies are not capable to embrace that yet. So do you mind deep diving into that a little bit, please?
Yes, sure. We're having, of course, a lot of trends coming in supply chain. It's been like a few years, but now with the pandemic, and now with everybody going online, and less human connection, or you're not meeting people a lot like before. All meetings are online and all that. So business also is starting to go online, like the idea of blockchains and contain the connection between systems, and how fast the information will move from one echelon and another in supply chain. Like this is the most important trend, because supply chain is depending on information downstream or upstream. The quicker the flow of the information, the more quicker you will be able to service people, and this is the higher the customer service, the higher the orders will be repeated, and the business will grow eventually, and you will have a higher profit. So this will help you with a lot in increase in profit, and you'll go for contracts that does not need any human intervention, that we call smart contracts. It will save a lot of time, like any interaction with banks. It doesn't need like signature and paper, and will save a lot of paper also. This is something environmental for sustainability. So there is a lot of movement towards blockchain, of course, due to the fast flow of information and due to this thing on contracts and how it will help the quicker the flow of cash and the cash flow from each end of the supply chain, and how the quicker you're going to deal with your suppliers and get the information from customers. And we're talking also about the Internet of Things, like the omni-channel that we were talking about before going live. So everything will be through one application. If you have like any problem in logistics, like in the warehouse, any problem in temperature, you just get a message on your mobile or something, and things like that. So these trends will help to be more efficient and effective in your supply chain. Also, you're talking about third-party logistics and how people will go for outsourcing, like small businesses. That they cannot have their own warehouses and they cannot handle their logistics. They will go to experts that will do the job for them, because they will do it more efficient, and it will be less cost for them instead of buying and handling the whole thing by themselves. So these are the three major trends that I see: the third-party logistics, the Internet of Things, and the blockchain.
Wow, that blockchain! Wow, that is amazing. When I look at all those three components, all of them are depending also very, very heavily actually on manufacturing, right? We also seen a lot of manufacturing processes stopped. Manufacturing kind of was on halt, or there was access of the product because they could not be transported. But also we're seeing very interesting things that are happening. So do you mind sharing now, with those three elements, how is the manufacturing specifically affected or not? And what do you see that are going to change? Because we remember we all wanted to protected supplies for PPE or whatever was, the masks or other supporting material for hospitals, for example. And there was excess of trying to manufacture that. And then the side was like totally depletion. You couldn't find it. It was not enough. And then looking for alternatives. And then now kind of things went a little bit more normal. Yes, demand is still high, but at least manufacturing is catching up as well as distribution, right? But when I'm looking at this, I'm seeing a lot of people willing to pay premium dollars, but they're, for example, not getting things very fast, or actual things are being damaged or not to the quality that is being expected. So in all this chaos, we're also seeing so many problems. And I was involved in a couple of projects, and I'm just using this because when you have a certain standards, when you have a certain regulations, when you also have to have a quality of product that can be used, it's like, and I'm seeing it was hit and miss. Everybody, even on the online, will promote their business and say this is the best, the highest standards, regulations, etc., etc. But in reality, that was not the case, and a lot of people paid up front and still did not have their supply. So, but I'm just curious, what do you see in terms of quality manufacturing, and how is that how is that affecting those three elements you just mentioned?
Yeah, as you said, because of the panic and people took in, and the demand increased for some things like detergents, like masks. So the companies took a lot of orders that's over their capacity. So some of them did not manage to deliver, or they did not have like a plan. Like if they were planning before, they would outsource or go manufacture through any other partners that they're doing the same business and things like that. Yeah, I've seen this problem, of course, happened a lot, which started the term of resilience of supply chain, and how companies should be more resilient and more flexible, and have plans, and in this time of chaos, how they should outsource and look for different suppliers, not sole suppliers for their products. So all these issues, yeah, I'm with you. All these issues happened and caused delays and a lot of delays in deliveries. But companies that had like contingency plans, as I said, and had like strong infrastructure managed to come out of this. Other companies, yes, struggled, and because there is competition. If competition is doing better in delivering service, then you lost some customers because you were not ready. You did not put any contingency plan in case of a pandemic like what happened. So they lost customers, they lost market share, and it's tough time. That's why some people lost their jobs, and things happened like this.
And some companies lost reputation as a result of
Yes,
that. And we
yes.
have to also look at both sides of the coin, right? We have opportunity to be stellar, but we also have disruption. And but communication, sometimes we deal with unpredictable stuff, but communication and visibility and return to phone calls and accessibility to consumer, even though we live in virtual world. Which brings another really good question for you that I know a couple of my partners would like to also ask, which is, right now in virtual world, right? And we're now looking for alternative supply chain, specifically logistic-wise, from different parts of the world. But we never test them before. On the phone and digital footprint, they look fantastic, but we don't know, right? How good quality of the products that they're vouching for, and for their logistic components of delivery, right? To go to where needed to go, specific product. What would you recommend, since we can't travel, we cannot go to see manufacturing plant? It's amazing when the people will send all these photos and videos, and everything looks so convincing, right? Like factory working fully and this and the other, and then turns out factory doesn't exist anymore, and these are photos from somewhere else or whatever. My point is, how do you recommend now to revisit and really make sure you're doing due diligence, since we're in
exactly
the world of those new players and new games? What would you recommend?
Exactly, you said the right word. It's due diligence. If you have someone like in the country of the supplier that you're working with, that you did not visit due to these all closing of borders and all, you must like reach out to your network, because reputation and trust is everything. So reach out through your network if you're active on a network. No companies, no people. Ask them. It's okay to ask. Yeah, don't go right away dealing with a supplier or with a company without asking, without looking through their website and looking through trusted sources on internet. Look through their page, and because everybody's is active now on social media. Look on their page on social media. Look at the recommendations from people and the feedback from people. People usually write if they get like, for example, in websites like Alibaba or whatever websites for suppliers, or in Google even, you'll find people reacting. If they get bad service, especially, they will write. They were right that the service, when they get good service, they don't write. But if it's bad service, they were right. They were right that this happened to me. So maybe you can go and connect with these people. What happened? Why there was bad service? I'm dealing with this company, and I don't know what happened with you. What was the reason for this delay, for example, on shipment, or what was the quality problems on the product? Search for the company, search for the employees and working on the company, approach them. So there is a lot of techniques to make sure that the company you're working with is reliable, and do your due diligence carefully, even if it takes some time. But it's better than going dealing with a supplier and then you don't receive your goods, or receive your goods damaged, or it's like a company only on paper with fake company or whatever, because these things happen nowadays. You must make sure that you're working with a trustable source.
All the excellent points, and then I feel like even and sometimes even if you do all of that, and it's just like some people are very clever, and again, it's a business, and you're right.
Yes.
Who is recommending who you trust, and then the reason why I'm bringing all this, even with the smaller companies, people that are having a smaller volume, obviously it's important to understand what pay points might be. So that's why a lot of people are now looking for different avenues for different manufacturers and things that are maybe closer to the destination where majority of
Right.
product is going. So it's also reverse engineering, right? We used to look at what would be higher quality but a cheaper production, but then also cheaper transportation. And now we have completely different mindset because things are not only happening so fast, but their tables are turning. It's like a chess game, right? If you keep spinning the board, you will always see possibility for different move, but you never know if it's more than two players, what next move will be. So we have to also think very quickly on our feet, right? And be able to advise and also strategize about it. So do you mind sharing a little bit what was your experience and what do you see some of the strategies that are happening right now in order to continue obviously move and push economy forward from the global perspective?
Well, for companies, as also we were discussing before, that everyone is online and e-commerce, and how big is e-commerce now? It's during the pandemic, the sales were around $1 million per minute for e-commerce. So all companies are working on going online and selling online and presenting their brand online. And even people like us, personal branding, how personal branding is growing, and people are going online, making their websites and making sure they are present on different social media channels through LinkedIn, Facebook, be it Instagram, everywhere. So the companies are working on the same strategies and being present on different platforms, selling on different platforms. It's not anymore like going to, for example, for FMCGs going to the supermarket and buying. No, they must present, sell online, sell through Amazon, sell through different channels, because these channels are growing. If you're not present there, you'll lose market share, you'll lose your reputation, you'll be wiped out after a few years. You'll be wiped out. So e-commerce. This is what I see will be the trend and growing for all businesses, for all kind of businesses. Yeah, it will differ from one industry to another, but it's growing rapidly.
That is brilliant, and thank you for pointing this out, because one of our viewers and listeners, Cooper, thank you for stopping by. He says also that it would be great to expect to automate manufacturing, and that is happening obviously with artificial intelligence and everything else that we're integrating. But on the end of the day, as you said, presence, and you mentioned a couple of times personal branding on individual contribution from CEOs to employees, all the way to actual company and accessibility, right? Opportunity to have a dialogue and real conversation. A lot of companies are now doing quick, correspondence via computer, that they don't even have anymore the voice recording, or they're not using any more phones like we used to. Specifically here in the United States, pick up the phone and have a customer service conversation. All of that shifted dramatically. And as a result, you're spot on, more trusted, more engaged. And then how do you now engage? What customers are expecting? What type of engagement and customer service just itself, right? It's a one huge component of it. But so do you mind just sharing a little bit what Cooper asked about manufacturing and optimization? What do you see in that space? And then also a little bit of that, what personal brand component shift and change for you personally since you started implementing it?
Yeah, if we start about manufacturing, yes, it all depends, of course, on the industry, Cooper. But yes, automation is, of course, is coming with the industry 4.0, and everybody is going to automation and quicker, because this will lead to quick, of course, the product, the customer service at the end, and the products will reach quickly to the customers. More mass production, and of course, this will lead to increase meeting the increased demand, like what happened, for example, for detergents and masks and all. So all this will lead to automation, because you want to increase the capacity, and you want to balance the supply and demand. This demand, it has to be met with through supply and strong manufacturing. So automation, yes, of course, it will grow, and in the coming years. As for my personal brand, yes, I started to focus more and more to be present on LinkedIn. Before, yes, I was present on LinkedIn, but only not interacting, not engaging with people, not going live. Didn't have maybe courage or confidence to speak, because everybody has knowledge, everybody has experience, and it's time to share it, and to help other people, give them confidence, and by going online, talking about your experience, talking about your knowledge, sharing it with like millions of people. Someone somewhere is looking for what you can offer, and really it made a big difference for me. Grew my network, and met a lot of people that are industry leaders, and interviewed a lot of people, learned a lot from them, and I hope I managed to transfer some knowledge and useful information also to people who are following me, and a lot of people on LinkedIn.
That is fantastic. So let's kind of a little bit more deep dive into that too, because it's a different to have a company, just like, that we register, that we love, that we nurture, then the people know that identity. But it's completely different to know the CEO or founder or people behind the company, and who are those people that are making magic happen. And personal branding, more than ever, is obviously focal point, because the stories like this and conversations and expertise, that's how we connect, right?
Yes.
But the factor that I find that is such important, and you definitely demonstrate that, is that the genuine interest. You do your own also lives, you're doing a tons of videos, different things. You're very engaged, and you produce very high quality content. All of those elements, guys, you're welcome. All of those elements, guys, I just wanted to highlight are essential, because it's so easy to hide. It's so easy to have somebody else from PR to marketing to sales to cover that component. But visibility of the leadership team, and transparency and honesty and vulnerability. Like right now, we're doing live, guys. If I make mistake, I made a mistake. Everybody will know about it. It's there. And the funny thing is, when we're done, we'll be recorded, and people can go back and play it over and over again and watch it.
Yes.
And it could be funny, and it could be entertaining, but also can be embarrassing. But regardless, we're all adults, and we're here to create something positive and create some positive impact beyond our brands, right? And our community and with everybody else. So the reach is very big. So do you mind sharing some of the things you've seen as a result, personally branding yourself beyond your company brand, right? And you mentioned already you have great reach, community, engagement. But what else did you had a chance to really, when you distill everything, what level of aha moment or discovery you encounter?
Yeah, you rediscover yourself, actually, and I did not think ever that I will be able to go live and talk about my knowledge live. I thought nobody's interested, but when you go live and when you start to post and see people interested in knowing more on supply chain or in marketing, the things that I have high experience in, so why not go live and talk about these things, and getting like questions from people, answering people, or showing people like a lot of share your story, showing what you struggled, and how you struggled, and how you managed to overcome these struggles. These experiences people need to know, especially a lot of people lost their jobs during the pandemic. They need to know that they're not alone. It happened to me, and it can happen to anyone. So you must be strong. You must go look further, connect with people. You don't know, maybe someone will is looking for your talent. He will see you in a live or something, give you a job, or see something that you don't see in yourself. And so be bold and go for it. And it's okay, as you said. Yeah, it can happen that you can make a mistake or something online. Well, what's the problem? Eliminate fear from your mind, and be open to share your experience and knowledge. People want to hear you. Everyone is there is greatness in everyone. So why not share your experience and knowledge? And people are willing to listen, and are open to learn. And you also must be open to learn from others.
That is fantastic. And thank you for sharing that. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to expand a little bit even further. Yes, it is it's an opportunity, because we have to be, if we're leading in certain areas, only way it's like leading by example, right? And what's so fantastic, it's like being uncomfortably comfortable. And I look at you, and now you're like so natural at it. It's like not big deal at all. So the same thing, we're dealing with so much disruption and nuances of new, that only way we're going to embrace it and learn is by acting, by taking massive action. And you spot on, self-discovery is huge. It's a different chapter. It's a different part of your life right now. Network, definitely people that resonates with you, with your values, with your personality. All of those things are very important. But one thing I'm seeing is that this beautiful human connection, because right now, as as the world messenger, and as being able to, I joke around, I travel around the world in 24 hours 34 times, and people laugh. But it's a reality, because right now with connections that we have through technology and with people in our networks, we can be in so many different places and learn perspective that is not filtered or not coming from different news outlets. That's coming from people that are doing things right on the ground. And that's huge, right?
Yes, of course it's huge. As you're saying, sometimes the news, or when you watch the news, I stopped watching the news because sometimes I feel it's directed towards negativity. It's directed towards making your mind think in a different way. But now you can go see like leaders talking live, and ask them live, and they're replying to you live. This is huge. And really, it can make a great effect. You can ask them; they can give you an advice that really helps you through the way, and really lights your way. So what's happening is huge. Maybe people don't feel it, but these live sessions, and going live, and seeing a lot of leaders going live and taking Q&A live, and giving you their advice on how to market a product, how to sell a product. Going live, like giving a free live, for example, on personal branding, on coaching, on how to be able to pivot in 2021. And really, if you look around, you'll find a lot of big names, and you can go, as you said, you can travel the world in 24 hours. You can go watch on Zoom big people, like, for example, I watched a few days ago, like Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, and these people, they're giving like all their knowledge out, and it's not for big money, and sometimes for free, and you learn a lot from these people, and you see a lot of leaders, a lot of values coming out from what's happening. Maybe, yes, people felt like we're staying at home, and we're not going out, no social life. But really, what happened is that you engaged with a lot of leaders, and you took a lot of values. If you wanted to learn through this time, everything is available. A lot of courses for free. A lot of books were distributed for free from a lot of leaders. A lot of live sessions. So there is a lot to learn from what happened. I think it was an advantage. Some people maybe say it's a disadvantage because they lost their 9-to-5 job, but there is a lot of advantage. You can go do anything, collaborate with a lot of people. Start your own business online. Start consultancy. Do anything, and a lot of opportunities. Really, there is a lot of opportunities. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's easy. Being an entrepreneur, it's not easy at all, and you don't have like a fixed income, fixed salary. But come on, also it's not also nothing is secure. Like what happens suddenly, some people can lose their jobs. Nothing is secure. So why not work on multiple sources of income, multiple streams of income, and you can learn from people. A lot of people talking about that online. Just go on YouTube, go anywhere, attend seminars, attend webinars, and learn how. If someone did it before, then you can do it. Your mind is limitless. You can do it. You can be great like these people. It will take time. It will take you resilience and persistence and patience, but you can do it.
I love what you just depict right here in this segment, because again, mindset of champion, right? Focus on what you can do and go full out. And this time of restriction, or as some people call it, downtime, can be used for self-improvement and improvement of systems and processes and everything else in our own enterprise, as well within ourselves. And you're spot on. It is so much out there that we can leverage and utilize. And as a result, we're going to be much more better and prepared, but we have to embrace the change. Everything starts with allowing to embrace the change and then allowing internal transformation to occur. And only way it's going to do it by the time we embrace that and full on and taking those actions and participating in different things. So do you mind just sharing, since you are in Emirates and in Dubai region and all of that, how is life right now for people that actually are curious, because we have very different policies in different countries, obviously here in the United States, and then depending on state to state, so I'm just curious, how is life right now there?
It depends. For example, from one company to another, some people are allowing working from home. Some people like go to work, but I see life is becoming to normal now. Restrictions were higher during the first panic stage, and don't go out like this. But now everything is normal. Everything is open. You just, but with a lot of caution, of course. Everybody's wearing masks, social distancing, and all that. But business has gone to normal. Especially that the economy here is depending a lot on that tourism, for example, in Dubai and all that. So business opened, but with a lot of precautions, and they made really a lot of tests here. It's I give credit here to the government here, like a lot of tests all the time, like millions of tests were happened, and they started to make the vaccine available for a lot of people who wants to take the vaccine, and so things are going well. As a lot of countries in the beginning, it was a little bit tight and everybody was scared, but people started to adapt, and it became reality that we have this thing, the COVID, and we have to live with it. And as you see, there is a lot of development of vaccines from different countries. So things, we have to be optimistic. Things are going to be better in 2021 for sure, for all of us.
That's good to know. And again, even for vaccines to come, we're talking about supply and supply chain process.
Yes, exactly.
Supply and demand, and where is we going to get the supply, and where is the good supply to get, and how are we going to now distribute, how is it going to arrive, and et cetera, et cetera. So again, nothing happens without that. And so
without supply chain, yes.
So it's so great to see how valuable it is to kind of open your mind and just ask yourself, how do I get all of this on daily basis? And obviously you will know that Ahmed and people like him who are great thinkers always come up with the great solutions. Despite obstacles. But I'm glad to hear that the things are kind of getting more normal and the tourism is opening up. Hopefully a lot of trainings, a lot of other stuff, because I know there were just so many beautiful conferences scheduled and anticipated,
Yeah.
and everything went sideways, and was planning to actually be at a couple of them. And then it's like all that conversation went on hold, or as they say, sideways. So I'm just eager to see when things will start picking up again. So.
Yeah. We hopefully soon. Of course, we have to be optimistic, and I started to see some conferences happened already in Dubai, and also things will pick up, and business is running, and so things can only get better. I think it's moving to the right direction.
Great. And school's open. Your daughter, I believe you have a daughter, is going to school and everything.
Yeah. Schools are open. No, she's like 4. She still did not. I
Oh,
don't did not send her to school, but yeah, most of schools are opened.
okay.
Even if there is a case or something, but it's manageable or something with a lot of precautions. But no, schools are open and it's controlled actually now. It's better than before, a lot better than before.
That's fantastic, because we also seen in other parts of the world, and including here, schools are still operating in virtual environments. So it's great to hear that things are progressing, and the kids can at least, have a play date.
Socialize, yeah. It's
Because
very important for them, yeah.
yes, because who is now most the hurt in this pandemic? Actually, we're seeing elderly, because they're in isolation, and then we're seeing children, and children specifically because they cannot have normalcy of the life, and they're always.
Normal life.
Yes, it's very different if they have a siblings or cousins close by, but when they don't have no one, kids cannot be kids anymore, in essence. So it's also important to protect them, but also give them choice and opportunity to engage and have as much as possible fun. So on that note, what are you doing for fun, and what would be some closing remarks for you, Ahmed, for our audience and listeners and viewers today?
Well, for fun, yeah, I'll try to like wake up early, maybe have a walk. I live close by the beach, so I can walk by the beach and go out, or even meet with neighbors out for some time, and like chill. I'm working hard, of course, on a lot of projects recently. I'm being active on LinkedIn, but you must, like, on vacation, take some time off, have some time and on the day for family and or for yourself. Wake up early, have like an hour of power in the morning. Run, exercise, walk. Do it whatever you like, but it's good for your mental health and for your health, for all your body, to be energized and to be able to go through the day. Uh, yeah. And of course, for our audience, for all job seekers, I just want to say, keep going, and things. I can see things that are getting better. There is more jobs are opening, and as we were talking, there is opportunities, a lot of opportunities to go for entrepreneurship. Just be bold and go for it. Even if you lost your job, go on side hustles. Try to make some money out of it, and go and learn, and it will be a great learning also for you, and to make you ready if you're going to have a new job and another job that you tried and worked through a lot of different things. It will give you more experience. It will give you more confidence. So I pray for everyone that to find a new job, people who are looking for jobs, and also to be open for new opportunities, and don't be shy, and go for it.
That is fantastic, and you're spot on. Yes, we're still dealing with insane high global unemployment and huge economic downfall.
Yeah.
shifts that are really affecting so many people, and some of them are really more challenging than the others. But the question it is, how do we play into that, right? What do we do?
Yes.
And for 2021, they're expecting more and more social economic issues, also climate change and problems that will be related to national disasters and whatnot. I mean, list is long, but definitely infectious diseases is number one that's going to continue to stifle some stuff. But we're getting smarter. We're getting already adapting to that. But the key thing is, as you said, do all you can do to take care of yourself, your family, your health, and charge ahead. Things are slowly but surely moving in the right direction, guys. Stay optimistic. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Stay optimistic, as you're saying, and don't watch too much of the news. Just stay optimistic. It's all about the mindset. Have a positive mindset, and we'll be able to go through it all, and we'll have an amazing 2021.
Absolutely. Cheers, champs. Wish you all the best. Thank you, Ahmed, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
And specifically, it's late at night, and you're a true champion. So we're really thrilled that we could have you here on the show. Thank you.
Thank you, Izabela. Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.